sort of follow up to my last Tech Thursday, which was how to run Facebook ads for your listings. This is going to be a way you can run Facebook ads if you don't have a listing, because as we know in the market, it's a bit harder to get listings, but you still need to be lead generating and looking for clients. So I want to share a really easy sort of strategy that you can use, and you can duplicate it and do it in a ton of different ways. Whatever way I do today, you don't have to follow that specific topic, but this process that I use, you can duplicate and use over and over again. So I'm just going to share my screen here. All right. So this is a document I'm going to share with everyone after the call that just has some links to help you as you go through this process afterwards. So first it goes through just some prerequisites for a Facebook ad. You do have to have a Facebook business page, and it has to be connected in your command settings. Your marketing profile should be completed as well. And you need to make sure you've added your credit card as a payment method in command. Otherwise, your ads are going to fail if you don't follow those first few steps. So those are the first few things you'll need to do. And these are links. So if you click on them, it's going to bring you to a step-by-step guide on how to do that if you're unsure. There's also a document called Set Up for Success Before a Facebook Ad, and it goes through some Facebook settings you may want to double check, like making sure you have two-factor authentication on your Facebook page, just common things that may cause an ad to fail. All of them are in this one document. So you can go through it beforehand or just go ahead and run your ad. And if it fails, you may want to check that one just to make sure you have everything done. For this class, you're going to also need your own KW agent site. If you have an agent site, like a custom one, it may work, but it just depends on the functionality of it. So whatever I show you today is going to be specific to the KW sites. And you're also going to need a graphic for the ad. So when you make an ad, you do have to put a photo on it. So you're going to want to add something like a design from Canva or designs in Command. You can look up stock images, which is what I'm going to do just for simplicity for this one. Or if you have your own branding and you want to put that as the graphic as well, you can do that. So these are just some of the things you'll want to make sure that you have before you start the process. Any questions on those? No? Okay. All right, so for this process, the first thing you need to do is decide what you want to focus your ad on, or who you want to focus your ad on. So if you think of your ideal consumer, if they're scrolling through Facebook, what's something that's going to catch their eye if they're just starting to be interested in real estate? Could be specific locations. So maybe you're advertising properties in a specific neighborhood, Halifax, Bedford, Sydney, wherever you are. Some things might be price ranges, especially those lower price ranges. So you might want to advertise a collection of properties that are under a certain price range to find those first-time buyers. Types of property are another one that you can focus on. If people are looking for either a house or condo or a piece of land. And some other ones that you can do, and I'll show you how to do this with the site, is you can look for open houses that are upcoming and recent price reductions. So these are all things that someone might be interested in seeing, and they're more likely to click on it when they're scrolling through Facebook. So those are just some of the ideas that you can use. I'm going to pop over to my agent site to show you how to actually look for those criteria. So I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Oh, so zoomed out. So this is my agent site. And the first thing I'm going to do is search for the area that I'm looking to advertise. So maybe I'll do Bedford, Scotia. Okay, I can move the map if it's not specific enough. You can zoom in. And so the first example I gave, if you're advertising a specific area, you've got your criteria. You've got your list of properties. You're already done. So that's a really easy one if you are just going to make an ad, like look at all the houses for sale in Bedford right now. That's one way you can do it. You can then get more specific with your filters. So like I said, you might do price range. So maybe you want to advertise that there's still houses in Bedford. We'll do up to 500,000, not a lot, but there are some showing up there. So you could say, there are still houses for sale in Bedford under 500,000. Take a look. There's another one. We have property type. So again, you can filter by houses, apartments, townhomes, lots, multifamily. You can get really specific with beds and baths, but I don't recommend that for an ad because you don't want to get too specific with it. But there are more filters under more. And when you scroll down, there is open houses. So you can turn this on and it will show you all of the properties. I'll zoom out a bit so it actually shows some. All of the properties there that meet that criteria that have an open house coming up. And you can do the same thing with the price reduction. So that's how you find the actual properties that fit those criteria whenever you choose what one you want to focus your ad on. So I'm going to do open houses just for this example. And we'll clear that. Okay. Now I have all of the open houses in the Halifax area coming up this week. Once you have the criteria and you're on the map, exactly what this is what's going to show to your client or your lead when they look at it, you're going to copy the link at the top because these are live links. So if I post this link today, they're going to click it, they're going to see all of these houses, but if they click that link next week or next month, it's always going to be updated based on what's on the MLS at that time. So that's why I said it's really easy to duplicate and rerun these things because once you create it the first time, you never have to change the link if you're just running that same ad over and over. So that works with any of those filters. You can move the map. It's going to show it exactly where you leave it, and then you copy that link. So that's why I just want to run through how to actually find those properties in that criteria. Does that make sense so far? Okay. So like I said, for my ad, I'm going to do open houses in the Halifax area coming up this week. We've got our criteria, we've got our link. Now, the next thing that we needed to do was find a graphic. So I will put some links in this document as well to some good stock image sources. There's a few that are royalty free. You don't have to pay anything. You can just download them and use them. So find one that kind of fits what you're looking for. You can also use your own images. So if you were advertising, like Alex, maybe you're advertising the Prospect area. I'm sure you have lots of nice photos of scenic places down there. You could use your own photo as well. Just make sure if you are finding photos online that they're royalty free and you're allowed to use them because some they do require you to pay or attribute the author or the artist. So just make sure you're looking for those type of images. I'm just going to use this one as an example. So I'm going to download that. And now I have my image. Okay, so that's kind of the prep work before you start running the ad. Now we're going to pop into Command and actually create that ad. So in Command, it is the little megaphone, the campaigns icon. We're going to go to down here. And then we're going to click Create Campaign, and we're going to choose a social ad. I'm going to call it Open Houses in Halifax. And our goal is to attract buyers because we're looking for buyer leads, people who want to buy houses that are in house. You can then choose where to run your campaign. You can do any of the, one second, I've apparently been disconnected from this one. Now, and we'll click Create there. All right, so the first thing that you have to start filling in is your copy. So whatever you're advertising, for me, it's open houses, if it's a specific location, you're going to want to be, you're going to say something that's going to catch their eye. So not going to be overly creative, but you'll want to be a little more creative. Do recommend emojis. They do catch people's eyes as well. Then you fill in your headline, which is just this text that shows up here. And then your description. Okay. I do recommend putting a call to action in the description. It's a very small piece of text down here under the headline, but it sounds silly. When you tell people to do something, they're more likely to do it. So I always tell them to click learn more. We've told them to send you a DM as well up here. So those types of things are going to hopefully increase the amount of people that reach out to you or click on your ad. So again, you'll probably be a little more creative than this. I just kind of pulled this and put it in there, but just whatever you're advertising, make sure your messaging is specific to that and is going to actually catch those people's eye. Okay. So I'm going to save that. As you can see, it's starting to build the preview of the ad over here on the right. Then we have the media. So this is where I'm going to upload that graphic that I have. So I'm going to click select media and add images, which will allow me to upload image, and then I can drag this right on here. Okay. And I'll save that. See, it's really starting to come together over here on the right. Next is the Facebook settings. So still telling me I'm not connected. I'm not sure why. We'll just ignore that, but you'll see your Facebook account here. So you'll see your name, and then you'll also see your page. So just make sure you're running it on the correct page. Then your destination. So you have two options here. One is the Facebook lead generation form, and one is directly to a site or landing page. So when someone clicks on your ad, either they're going to get a pop-up that asks for their name, email, and phone number. That's the Facebook lead generation form. And if you're looking to generate leads, you have to click that in order to actually get those leads into your command database. Alex?
Yeah, I noticed yesterday, because I'm building an ad to go out today, that I think with one of the most recent command updates, a bunch of Facebooks got unsubscribed. So you just have to go in, like delete your profile and re-upload it, and it works fine.
Okay. I'll have to do that afterwards. Yeah, they've been updating a lot of stuff this week in preparation for family reunion. It seems like there's 2 or 3 updates a day. So sometimes that does refresh connections and you have to go through and redo that, but that's good to know. Thank you. So yeah, destination, Facebook lead generation form. If you're looking to actually get leads into your database, you do have to click this because that's what's actually going to collect their information and send it to you. Your button label, learn more, is the most relevant one, so we're going to leave that as is. And then your website URL. So once they click on your ad, fill in their info on that lead gen form, where is it going to take them? So again, we have this criteria on our website that we want to advertise, and I'm just going to copy the link that's up here at the top. Go back to command, and I'm going to paste that link in. Okay, they click on my ad, they fill in their info, and then they're brought to this page that shows all of the open houses that are available at whatever time that they're looking at it, whether it's today or next week or next month. Okay. Then your audience. So it typically defaults, well, when you have a listing, it's going to default to the listing area. If it's not connected to a listing, it's usually going to say United States and Austin, Texas. So you can, because I don't have mine connected, it's not letting me change the country to Canada. But you can run an ad in literally any country and any city. So this is another way, like I could run this ad in Halifax, then I can also run it in Toronto, and then I can also run it in Vancouver. Wherever you find there's people looking to move to Nova Scotia from, you can always run your ad there. So it's something you can duplicate and run in many different areas. So just search for Canada in the country, and then the location wherever you want to run that. And then your radius, so how far away from that location. So if I had Halifax here, it's going to show it to anyone who's within 25 kilometers of Halifax. Now you can do up to 80, that's the maximum radius. So if you're looking to get all of Nova Scotia, you may have to run it 2 or 3 times in different parts of the province and set that max radius to reach everyone. That's really all you have to do for targeting. That's one of the benefits of doing ads through command and not directly on Facebook. On Facebook, you do have to get a little more specific with who you're trying to target. You have to put in all of their interests and where they live and all of that stuff. But this was built hand in hand with Facebook and KW, so that all of that targeting is done in the back end, and you just have to choose simply where you want the ad to run. So as you start filling that in, you're going to notice the audience definition over here on the right. And as long as that black line is in the green, it's not showing it for me right now because I can't put that in. As long as it's in the green, then you're in a good reach. You're up here, it might be a little bit too broad and you're not being specific enough, or you're too specific if you're in the red. So as long as you see that line in the green, it's typically going to be there if you're just using the auto audience here. Now there are custom audiences. So if whatever you're advertising is for a very specific type of person, maybe you do a lot of multi-units and you want to find investor clients, you might actually put a custom audience for people who are interested in real estate investing. And then maybe your criteria you search for is multi-unit properties. There's a lot of different routes you can go with this. But in general, with the audience, you're pretty much always going to choose the auto one here. Okay. Pretend I saved that. Next is the lead settings. This is just sort of an extra part you can do to make your life a bit easier. You can set up a tag so that anyone who clicks on your ad and ends up in your database has a specific tag on that contact. So you're easily able to find them in your database. You can use that to put them on a smart plan. So if you don't have a tag created already, you can do it here. I might call it open house Facebook lead. I can click create new tag, give it a color. And now every lead I get from this ad is going to come into my database tagged with this specific tag. If you're familiar with smart plans, you can take it a step further. You might have one already set up to follow up with these type of leads. I do recommend doing that. It will save you a ton of time if you do end up getting a lot of leads. That's a whole different class. But if you do have a smart plan set up for that, you're just going to select it here. I'll do my Facebook follow-up one, for example. And then as soon as they click on your ad and you get their information in your database, they'll also automatically be added to that smart plan. So they'll get that email or that text message as soon as they click on that. Text message will be the next day if it's the middle of the night. Someone sends it within business hours. But that's just one way you can sort of automate that follow-up. Again, that's totally different class, not going to go through smart plans too much, but if you do have questions about that, just reach out to me. The last step is the duration and budget. How long do you want this ad to run, and what do you want to spend? So just keep in mind this budget is in American dollars. So if you choose 30, it's going to be 40, 45, depending on the exchange rate. And you may not want to run it for too long if you're new to Facebook ads. And the reason I say that, you're going to want to test things out. You might run this ad and 10 days in, you're like, wow, I got no leads. This isn't working. I want to do something else. But if you've run that ad for 30 days and you decide after 10 days you don't want to run it anymore, you will get any unspent ad spend back. So if I put $30 and I only spent 10, I'm going to get that $20 back as a credit, but not until that ad finishes. So even if I stop the ad after 10 days, I'm not going to get that credit till my 30-day ad has run its course. That's why I say run them short as you start to get used to Facebook ads and figure out what's working so that you're not waiting 2 or 3 months for your credits to come back. Do them for short amounts of time, do them in different ways to figure out what's working. And then once you have it nailed down and you have your strategy down, then you can run them for 30 days and just have them running in the background and generating leads. Because the nice thing, like I said, with these links, the live links from the website, I can just keep duplicating this ad over and over, and I don't need to change anything. I don't need to change the link. I don't need to change my wording. None of it was specific to a time frame. It's all just going to stay updated as it runs. Okay. I'll save that. So that's pretty much it. As soon as you have that all filled in, you would click publish campaign, and then you're going to start seeing hopefully some leads come in. But again, you can do this in so many different ways. It's a very versatile strategy because of all the different filters you can do, the different locations you can run the ads. There's just a lot of things you can do with this one process using your agent site. Any questions on any of that? Or anything regarding Facebook ads? It's a quick one today. It's pretty simple strategy, so it's an easy one to just keep going and going.
That was really awesome about the live link. I was playing with mine because I don't have a KW site. And I honestly didn't know that my search for homes was as robust as it is. So that was awesome to know that I can do that and put in a live link and actually run ads that way. So my mind again is a little bit blown up. I'm so glad that I came to this because now I found another way to communicate with potential clients. So that's awesome. And I love your graphic. I'd like to steal that. If
Yeah,
that's
it's just pexels.com is the link I got that from. And I just searched house for sale and it was the first one.
I could probably send it to you.
Oh, you got it? Of course you do, Dennis. Of course you do.
Everybody has that house on the right too.
Oh,
Yeah, this one's like the standard Canva house.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm sure I could find it in Canva too, but it's
There's probably
Yes.
more in Canva, honestly, and then you'll know for sure that they're royalty free and you're allowed to use them. If you do have Canva, I would recommend that.
nice. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Holy crap, that was good. It's nice to get the refresher on the different things, and I really appreciate Alex kind of giving us a heads up on having to reconnect because I just like to go in, turn the key, and have everything work. So if it didn't work,
Yeah.
I would have been reaching out to you, Jess, going, "This isn't working." So, I appreciate the heads up.
Yeah, so I'll run through that really quickly because there are a lot of times where Facebook will update their terms of service or they'll update something on their end. And even though, so mine did say disconnected, but there's been a lot of cases where it'll still say it's connected, but your ads will just keep failing. And it doesn't really give you any indication why. It'll normally say you're not the admin on your Facebook page or something along those lines, even though you know you are because you're the one who created it. But I will quickly show you just how to actually refresh that connection on both the Command and Facebook side. So I'm going to go to my ads manager one here and click manage, and then I'm just going to disconnect my account. Right, so that's disconnected. Then I'm going to go to Facebook, and it's in your settings, I believe. It moves the settings around a lot, so just bear with me here.
Yeah, for fun. I really enjoy it when they do that.
Actually, the easiest way, I'll show you the easiest way. So in that setup for success before launching a Facebook ad campaign, it is. One of the ones has, I think it's actually. Yeah. So on the why is my Facebook ad failing? It is linked in that document. Down under remove command from Facebook settings, there's actually a link that will bring you directly to your Facebook business settings. You don't have to go through that rigmarole to find it. So it'll bring you to your business integration. So I guess it's actually under security and login settings. But you'll find Keller Williams API here, and then you're going to remove it from here. You don't want to delete your post because that's going to remove anything you've ever posted to your Facebook account from Command. But you'll just click remove. And then you're simply just going to go back to Command once this confirms that it's removed and reconnect it. So we'll do Facebook Ads Manager. And so when they update the terms of service, reconnect it, normally you'll see it pop up like, oh, you need to accept the terms of service. So it seems like it doesn't have a way to push it to you unless you disconnect and reconnect, and they have that new pop-up that comes up. So I'll just click continue here. And then here it is. Page and done. That's the fix for most Facebook errors. If you do ever get ads failing, just disconnect, reconnect, and it will refresh any connections if they have updated any terms of service that they have.
And just that document there that you were referencing looked familiar. I assume you've already sent that out to us.
It looks familiar because I had pretty much the same one for the last training I did for the listings one.
Oh, okay.
So it had the same prerequisites here at the top, but the rest of it's different. So the like deciding what to focus your ad on and what you need for the class. So looks a bit similar, but I will share this. It had the same links that I just went to, like if your ad's failing, setting up for success, but I will actually, I think I have it here. Share it I just put the link to the Google Doc version in the chat. So if you click that, you can save it as a PDF or whatever you want, but
Awesome.
that is the one from today. Any other questions, or does anyone want me to run through one of the other examples if you're interested in doing one of those? Got a lot of extra time.
Jess, how long
Yeah.
does it take before you know if your ad has failed? Like, is it pretty quick response, or do they take a couple days to get back to you on it?
So it depends. For a failed ad, you might see it fail right away. And that's an
Mhm.
indication something's not connected properly, or there's just something wrong with that connection.
Mhm.
If it was, just going to be not approved, like it doesn't meet their, because they do like a review of it once you publish it.
Mhm.
So if I was to publish that ad, typically if it's going to be approved, it'll run at midnight tonight. So it's typically the
Okay.
next business day that it will show. You'll never see it start running the same day you publish it, but it's pretty much always the next day. And usually through the night it will start. So once that midnight time hits, it'll either approve or fail. And if it fails right away, then you know that there's definitely something wrong. But if it fails later on, it's typically something's wrong, like it doesn't meet their advertising guidelines, and they'll disapprove it. So you'll see disapproved if it's not approved, or you'll see failed if something doesn't work. But you'll usually know by the next day.
Good to know. Thanks.
Yeah.